March 19th, 1995. That date on its own doesn't sound like much, but it actually represented one of the more important dates in basketball history. It was the date that Michael Jordan returned to the NBA, and the Chicago Bulls faced off against the Indiana Pacers at Market Square Arena, and the electricity in that arena was unlike no other. I was just incredibly hyped for his return. I could not contain myself. I had to see that game. And even though the game turned out with Jordan not having much of a shooting night, he shot 7 for 28. It was actually Scottie Pippen, the other Bulls star, that came through with 5 points in the final minute to tie the game and send it into overtime. And if you haven't watched that game, you have to watch that game play out. The excitement in the arena, the Pacers, they introduced the Bulls lineup, and Jordan's name was the last of the starters introduced onto the floor. And they quickly, the fans went crazy, but they quickly turned it to their own, electronics and loud noises and things to distract from the excitement of Jordan, because they wanted to not overshadow their hometown Indiana Pacers, and they started introducing the Pacers lineups. You have to take a look at the video there and just see what they did. Kind of a stunt there, but either way, as soon as the Jordan actually reached the floor for warm-ups, the crowd went crazy then too, and throughout the game, anytime the Bulls would make a shot, it was a roar of Bulls fans, in addition to some Pacer fans wondering, how did all these Bulls fans get here? So anyway, with that, having said that, another reason I'm doing this is not just to play my first game of 1994-95 Crunch Time Basketball, but it is to say that Crunch Time Basketball is my 2024 new game of the year. Now, I know this game was not created in 1994 by Bradley Logan or Gustav, who does the great color cards that you see below, but it's new in my book. It's the first time I played it, so that's new for me. And this game beat out a very small list of new games that I had played in 2024. I wanted to try out play games, had Highlight Maker Hoops Primetime. And this game, Keith Avalone came out with this one after many years of research. And I have considered this game a pet project for the future. It didn't win my award for the best favorite game of 2024, and that's not necessarily because it's not a good game. It appears to have a different approach to a full-time, long-play basketball game, and I do appreciate some of its qualitative aspects. It's not just a stat-driven ball game. You'll still get relatively accurate statistics, but not in the sense that each individual stat is monitored the same way as a typical tabletop game. I, of course, bought the all-time teams, which I had a kick reviewing earlier this last year, and having the 30 teams and the 12 best players, and saying, well, where's Spencer Haywood? Where's Connie Hawkins? Where's this guy? Or why is this guy on this team and not on that team? That's always a fun thing. Ralph Sampson, Maurice Lucas. Okay, I'm going to start going off on the guys that are missing, but I really enjoy the perspective on this game. And once again, I call this a pet project because I certainly want to tackle it again in 2025 and find some time to play it. Another game which I kind of, this one has an asterisk next to it, is not a new game by any stretch of the imagination, but I had not played this version of Status Pro Basketball, like 1980s version, in probably 45 years or so. So I wanted to put this on my list of games I reintroduced myself to in 2024, and I had a good time with this game, and I plan to play a little bit more of it. It's not my favorite style of game, so I just but this got this in a trade with Kevin, and I got the 1988 87, 88 set of cards, and there was 10, 12, 13 plus cards per team, and I love the fact that they had full rosters, and the gameplay is very simple. This is a great beginning game for someone who has not played a lot of tabletop basketball or tabletop sports games in general. It's pretty easy to follow along. It's pretty foolproof, and you have a possession. You decide typically to pass it, advance the ball at least one time, almost every possession, unless it goes to a pure shooter like a Kareem or a Larry Bird or a Dominique Wilkins, and then you shoot the ball, and the fun ensues after that. So very smooth playing game. No dice typically involved with this one, although I'm sure people can introduce dice if they really wanted to get a couple D10s or something. I'm not exactly sure. Actually, they have an interesting numbering system where they don't have certain numbers from 11 through 88. But either way, I'm sure people have workarounds with that as well. As I mentioned in my last video, they always have those Status Pro card flipper type things online to speed games up or make things more convenient. But Status Pro Basketball, another good game. Sports Illustrated Games, Avalon Hill, no longer in business, but it's still created by many home brewers of games today, and it's on the marketplace if you look hard enough. Even Delphi forums and various websites will have versions of Status Pro Basketball, which is loved by many. Of course, I acquired in that same trade of Status Pro the Alley-Oop ACC basketball strategy game, and I have yet to play a game of it, so the jury's still a little bit out. I'm not exactly crazy about what I'm seeing with the game engine, so it's kind of been a delay. And you'll find on my channel, if I really like a game, you will see 2+ videos of it, maybe in a row or within a year. You might see 3, 4, or 5 if I really love the game. And Alley-Oop hasn't made the scoreboard yet as far as me playing a game online, so we'll just have to see if I decide to get this out in 2025. So why do I appreciate Crunch Time Basketball by Bradley Logan so much? I like games with a bit of simplicity to them, and games that get bogged down in the minor details of the game, whether it's, just various nuances. If you can pull off technical fouls, injuries, rare plays within a reasonable amount of time and not interrupt the flow of the game, then I have no issues with those being included in the game. This game's not going to have some of that, and it may sound like a shortcut, but Hoops kind of does that as well. Fast Break has a very seamless technical foul and injury system. Old game by Jim Mickey. They have those types of features, but they don't interrupt with the flow of play. I found that it interrupted the flow of play with games. The Primetime Highlight Maker Hoops Primetime, it's all about the intricacies. So it's a whole different style of game. I'm not going to throw it in the same category because the game is entirely about the little minutia of the referees and the coaching influences and the team's attitude and the players that are getting the ball every 4 minutes. It's kept in little increments of 4 minutes. So I can't put that in the category, but certainly ones where you have to, take a player out because he's, they've got set an automatic fatigue level on him, like in Status Pro. Those things I just don't like because it forces me to make substitutions I don't want to make. So frankly, I just ignore those rules in that game, and also in Bank Shot, where they try to say he must take 3 plays off, or the next 3 baskets are scored by the offensive guard. No, I don't buy into that type of stuff. That just kind of confuses me and makes the game a little less simple. So once again, Crunch Time Basketball, simple game. I printed this out because I just love the graphic. Once again, this is the instruction booklet right here. Talks a little bit about the college version of the game. This is Bradley Logan's instructions. And it kind of throws things, it looks like a jumbled mess right here, but it actually highlights things reasonably well in the coloring. There's red coloring. That's why I use my color inkjet to print them out. But anyway, you go through that little list of things to do, and the game, you can pick it up in like 10 minutes and start rolling your dice. Once again, another thing I like about Crunch Time and other games that use a format of just 2 simple dice. I mean, I don't like I'm not crazy about games that are using 3, 4, and 5 die to do it. I mean, Bank Shot, I'll make an exception for that. It's like 2 dice for this and 2 dice for something, 2 dice for the 1 to 100 and 2 dice for the easy to read dice. But when it's 3 dice and you're like looking at a grid and you got to, and these are mostly replay and Stratomatic, the X die, the 20-sided die, the 2 die. It's just like almost like I don't want to be doing the Pythagorean theorem every single time I'm trying to play a game. So I'm not trying to be critical. People love Stratomatic. Keep playing Stratomatic. It's been around forever. The strength of Stratomatic is its longevity. It has been in business since forever, at least the basketball game I'm talking about, since 1980. They've had the same consistent game. They had a prior game in the 1970s that probably wasn't as good, but the people come back to Stratomatic basketball despite the fact they don't really reproduce their old seasons anymore, and they like it because it's there every single year, both the tabletop and the PC game. So you got some consistency there. But anyway, Gustav created these cards, which all they have is a 2 to 12 dice roll. And all the other passing, rebounding, defense, fouling is on the cards here with little letter grades. And this makes this game somewhat similar to the old PTG basketball game. The defense is graded 1 through 4. The fouling is based on those gradings of 1 through 4. This is A through F, basically, just like grades on a report card. And so this is a very simplistic game. Bradley Logan came out with some original cards, a very simple design. They sort of look like this. Very small. You can find these on the Delphi forums. He actually left a few so you can try out the game as well. Check my prior videos on Crunch Time, and I've got links to both Gustav and Bradley Logan's wares with Crunch Time basketball. And but you can see it's very simplistic. There's no details on the player's height, weight, whatever. Whereas you go to these cards here, and you can see right away that Reggie Miller was born in 1965, and I'm finding this game I'm playing today, this great Jordan comeback game, most of these players were born within 2 years of when I was born. I was born in October of 1966, so I can relate to a lot of these players. Let's see, Rick Smits has a sister that played basketball at Oregon State University while I was at Oregon State. So that's how I know a little bit about Rick Smits. Other than that, my Trailblazers, I was born in Portland, Oregon. They had an opportunity to draft a guy named Michael Jordan back in 1984. And I remember the coin flip that the Blazers had. And they decided to call tails because when Bill Walton was drafted about 10 years earlier, the Blazers called tails and they won the flip. So they said, we're going to call tails. And of course, it turned up heads. And we did not get the first pick. And so that means we got the second pick, which means we could either pick Michael Jordan or Sam Bowie or Charles Barkley. And we took the worst one of those three in Sam Bowie. And Sam Bowie, who broke his leg in college, as everyone knows, broke his leg again in the pros and had an injury-prone career, as was expected. So either way, the Blazers missed out on a great player, but such is life. This is 10 years after that, and I'm over that. I remember being totally excited because Michael Jordan was making a return following a retirement in 1993, and whether that was because he was burned out, whether there was some secretive gambling issues going on with Commissioner Stern, whether it was the death of his father, which was just totally tragic, and unfortunately he was basically murdered. So it was just one of those combinations of factors that Jordan said he has to depart. And ironically, the only reason he really came back during this 94-95 season, started working out the Bulls, is because the baseball players went on strike as well. And there's another factor. My Cincinnati Reds, my favorite baseball team, at the end of 94, they were winning the division. Did they get to win a World Series, though? No, they did not. The league did not have a World Series that year. And so it was a real conflictive, strange year. But at least Michael Jordan had returned to the basketball court. So I want to get a few minutes in on this 95 Bulls versus Pacers game with all the hype surrounding, NBA on NBC with Bob Costas and Marv Albert and all those great broadcasters, and Ahmad Rashad, who seemed to be able to interview Jordan whenever he wanted. Ahmad Rashad went to the University of Oregon. Once again, another kind of local product in that respect. So let's see what we can do to get this game going. Crunch Time Basketball, it operates on a 50 cards of the play action, time action cards, TACs. 50 cards represents 10 minutes of play. Well, I'm playing NBA ball. So what I ended up doing with this, the original printout of 50 cards, is I printed out 50 more cards, so I had 100. And I use that for randomness. And so instead of having to go through the 50 cards and adding 10 more for a final 2 minutes, I just play 60 cards at a time. But also, they've also, at least Gustav has introduced pace ratings for each team. And back in the mid-90s, if anyone recalls, the game got incredibly physical. And it restricted the number of shots per minute played. And teams like the bullying Knicks and even the Bulls were pretty physical. I mean, they were a very strong team. The Orlando Magic and Shaq, that was a pretty physical team. And this was a particular year when Horace Grant of the Bulls, you see that he's not the power forward. By the time Jordan left and when he came back, Horace Grant had signed a free agent contract with the Orlando Magic. And they make many mentions, even Phil Jackson in the pregame interviews of this game. It's like they know that they're lacking a very legitimate power forward, and they're not going to get one until the following year when some guy named Dennis Rodman arrives on the scene. And even though he is a head case, he was one heck of a rebounder and a defender when he had his mind made up to do so. So here we go. So anyway, I was just going to say the pace rating. Back to the pace rating. There's a -2 for the Bulls. There's a -2 for the Pacers. So instead of 60 cards for every quarter, we're using 56 cards. So we're going to have probably a game that's going to score. If we get 100 points, we're probably doing some high scoring there. And anyway, these are the starting lineups that started most of the games. I didn't even realize that the Bulls used Will Perdue as their starting center all 78 games. It came to the playoffs, however. I noticed they played the 10 games, got beat in the playoffs eventually, beat the Hornets, got beat by the Orlando Magic in 6 games. When Jordan's turnovers per game went from 2.1 in the regular season, 17 games, to 4.1 turnovers per game in the 10 games in the playoffs. But I just think he was a little flustered, and maybe he wasn't in the condition. Maybe it obviously would take another year for him to regain all of his stamina and sharpness and things that you lose when you step away from being the best at the game of basketball. And he, of course, came back as number 45. That's another significant thing as well. And I think I'm not sure if his brother may have been number, I don't know. I want to say that his brother had a number that was either double that, half that. Maybe his brother was, 23, 22 and a half. I'll have to do some research on that, but there's a reasoning for the number 45, and I think it had to do with the number his brother had worn. So either way, to get started with this game, this is a rebound deck in this corner. And basically that's all that is to grab the rebounds. And this is the time action card deck. And we know that when this is done, we'll be done with 1 quarter of play. I'll probably, as soon as I see it about halfway, I'll know I'll be 6 minutes in. So we're going to see how this works out. I haven't played it for a little while, but it's pretty easy to pick up. Like I said, you just got 2 dice rolls from 2 to 12, very quick lookups. And once again, I'm going to give the guy with the better rebounding numbers a plus, an advantage on the jump ball. Will Purdue's got AA. There's Dale Davis if I wanted to jump him. But Smith's a 7. Okay, I'll let these 2 guys jump, Dale Davis and Purdue, give them the same number. So Purdue's going to get a 6. Dale Davis is going to get a 2. So the Bulls will start with the ball, and you simply flip a card. And the number 2 guard, who could that be? Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan is back. Now, this card is interesting in that it shows him at 28.6 points per game. Now, he did not average 28.6 points per game during the regular season, I think he was around 26.9, and he shot probably 41% from the floor. Well, Gustav's cards include playoff stats with the regular season stats. So instead of him playing 17 games, he played 27 games. You'll see it right there. And this combines all the numbers. So he went up and averaged 31.5 in the 10 playoff games. Therefore, he's in, totals 28.6 on the season. So I kind of found that interesting too. And it gives me a reason to buy crunch time cards because they're not going to be like a normal set of cards where they just have regular season numbers. This kind of shows someone who heated up in the playoffs. They're going to reflect that in the entirety of the season. So I found that really interesting. So Jordan definitely benefited because he only played 17 games upon his comeback, and he was just slowly getting into shape. And now we've got a guy who averages 28.6, shoots 44% from the field, almost 44% from three-point land. And so he's got the ball, and we'll see if he can make we'll see how well he shoots threes. He makes 1 on 2, and he misses 1 on 11. So another thing I like about this, too, is it's just an instant result. Even in fast break, one of my favorite games of all time, you got to roll, it'll say 3-point attempt, and you got to roll again with a number range to see if he makes or misses the three-pointer. But this one is different. Jordan with the ball. He shot 7 for 28 in real life. Let's see if we can top that because he's actually got some playoff stats included in this number. And there's a 5, and that's a miss. Got my little spreadsheet off camera. Rebound. Oh yeah, I also have to check. Got to remember that if the defense was double A or single A, and it's B for Reggie Miller, it says shot missed. But either way, I got to check that on every shot as well. I've got to remember and get back in the swing of things here. Rebound, offensive number 2 forward. And so that's going to be Kukoc, who's got a B. Defensive number 1 forward. And he's got a double A. Oh, defensive number 1. Oh, defensive number 1? Whoa, okay. That's a C. So the rebound is going to go to Tony Kukoc on the offensive glass. Usually don't think of Tony Kukoc as being a key cog in the rebounding. That must have been one of his better rebounding years. He's kind of a small forward like Pippen, who's got a B as well. So let's maintain possession in Chicago here. Pass to choice. Oh, that's also the thing. I'm going to press for the first 5-10 minutes of this game as well. It's not like a normal press. It's mostly just to get a few extra fouls. And it says center versus press. So I'm just going to use the center, and that's Will Perdue. So once again, I don't like doing pass to choice. I just rather play it out. And it says 7 is a miss by Will Perdue. And the Bulls are 0 for 2. But Rick Smits, if his defense was a D or F, which it's not, it's a B, the shot would have been made. So once again, I got to stay on top of that. Missed by Purdue. Rebound, defensive number 2 guard. That's Reggie Miller out of UCLA. I love the detail on these cards. Plays all games, date of birth, scoring average, minutes per game, rebounds per game, assists per game. How many total games? Reggie Miller played 98 total games, which is every game plus all those playoff games. So interesting stuff. Pacers choice. Number 2 forward, that's Dale Davis. Not known for his shooting prowess. A 7 is a miss by Dale. And if I had a defensive F, the shot would be made. Miss by Dale. And one thing I'm going to note, Michael Jordan, you'll see right off the bat here, he is a defensive D. And you know that every other year that they probably made these cards, he's a B, A, double A defender. I think because of the shortened season and maybe based on some metrics that Gustav came up with and Bradley Logan come up with, he is a D for this limited amount of games. He probably didn't get the win shares or whatever it's called, whatever they use that goes into the defensive rating. So that was a miss by Dale Davis. And the rebound is going to be a jump ball. So Purdue, we'll go Purdue and Smits this time. We'll skip the same rating. So Purdue gets the tap. possession choice, but it's number 2 forward versus the press. We're going to go Tony Kukoc. And that's a 5, and that's a pass. And the pass says defensive foul if they're a D or F. And defensive foul, B. So it's not. It's going to be a true pass. And you'll notice another thing on these cards. I just roll a 5, and it has an asterisk for Kukoc. Now, the official rules say you start tabulating those little asterisks for each individual player, and if they reach 6, the players, I can't remember, I think the foul rating is supposed to go from whatever it is to an F, which means they'll start fouling a lot. Some people, drop their rebounding down 1, drop everything. You can do all kinds of different variations when they are considered fatigued. But I just like to do my own fatigue rules, and I don't count those because it took away from the game. Once again, it's one of those things where I'd rather make my own substitutions and not utilize it, although that's probably built into the game. I think Bradley Logan said that is built into the game's statistical matrix there. So either way, I'm just going to ignore that and make substitutions on my own because I want this game to move. So that was a pass. And here's an automatic turnover most of the time. This is a number 1 guard, BJ, unless he has a AAA ball rating, which he's a ball handler, B. That's a turnover. I give a steal to Mark Jackson there on the play. Not too scientific. But basically, you have to be a really good ball handler to avoid that possession issue there. The Pacers come back. They give the ball to the center. And Rick Smits goes up 11. That's going to be a pass. It's a charging foul. Oh, there's a scheduling thing here. That's for college only. So that's an offensive foul. And that's Rick Smits first. All right. Number 1 forward, Scottie Pippen. No one seems to want to score here. 5. What's Scottie got there? It says 2-point field goal, but we double check. Number 2 forward, ball handler, has to be AAA, AA, single A, or B made. C is neutral, and D, F would be missed. So I'm guessing Kukoc can handle the ball. He is an A. So I also award an assist on that as well. Scottie Pippen's going to get the first 2 of the game. Kukoc will get the assist. And the Bulls have the 2-0 lead. Finally got off the schneid there. Took a little time. Center. That is Smits. That's a 5. 2-point field goal. If I have a AA defense, he's a C on defense. So no. 5 is a 2-pointer for Rick Smits. All right. Bulls come back, number 1, back to Scottie. He had to be the leader for much of the 95 season. That's a 6 on Scottie. That's going to be a pass. Charging foul, Scottie Pippen. Oh, number 2 forward. This is going to be trouble. Turnover, it looks like, for... Yeah, Dale Davis is a ball handling rate of F. So turnover, Dale. We're getting a lot of the turnover cards. I swear I shuffled these. And that'll be a steal by Kukoc. Center versus press. Will Purdue, 8. 2-point field goal. Defensive F shot made. Will Purdue scores. Bulls with the lead. Ball back to Dale Davis. Let's see if you can hang on to it. 9. That's going to be a pass. Turnover for ball handling rate F. Nope. Turnover, Dale Davis. What a liability. Why'd the Blazers trade for him? No, actually, he's a good rebounder, a good guy. Ball goes to Purdue. That's a 7. That's a miss. A defensive foul. It's a defensive foul, unless defender is playing loose, which I've never done yet. So foul number 2. on Rick Smits. And that is a non-shooter. Well, let's hope Rick won't get another one. Number 2, Michael Jordan. That's a 4. That's a miss. But if the number 2 ball handler is at least a B, and it is, Coop Coach to Jordan, turns a missed shot into a make. And that's got to be built into the cards as well. All the good ball handling. Scotty's an A ball handler. Coop Coach an A ball handler. Will Purdue's rightfully a D. Armstrong B. Jordan A. Bulls looking sharp so far. Derek McKee, and that's an 8. That's a 2-point field goal unless the double A on defense. Yes! That's a defensive play. McKee is going to miss. So the ratings can force a guy to either to make or miss. And what I like to put on there, I'll put a defensive stop in lieu of a block. I don't have block shots in this game, but I'll put a defensive stop in my score sheet, and I'll see how many times the Bulls or the Pacers stop a guy on defense. So on the block, we're going with the rebound. Offensive number 2 guard. Rebounds. D for Miller. Defense, Jordan. C. So MJ grabs the board. All right, we're back, and the Bulls have the ball. Center, turnover. God, all the turnover cards are coming up. Turnover Purdue, steal by Smits. Number 2 forwards, Dale Davis. And that's a 4 pass. Defensive foul versus press. Now, a lot of those random defensive fouls, I'm just going to do a random number. 1. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 will be the defender. So I'm just going to give it on Scottie Pippen right there. First foul on the Chicago Bulls. My memory was just returning to me on this action card here where it says turnover and immediate possession, which is kind of like stealing the ball and kind of taking on a fast break or something of that nature. And so on future possessions, I've got to remember that that guy will have possession. Say Will Purdue steals it or Smith steals it like happened here. He will have possession, and I can roll on Smith's card immediately and then play off the action card, whatever happens. So maybe that'll give me a couple extra plays as well. I didn't even think about that. Anyway, I believe we had the foul on Scotty last. And let's see. Pacers have the ball. Reggie Miller. That's a 9. That's a missed 3-point attempt. First thing we've heard. And it would be a miss anyway, even though Jordan's a D. That should help Reggie today, Jordan being a D on defense. Offensive number 1 forward, which is McKee, which is a C. Defensive number 2. They're both B's on the front line. I can remember that. And Tony Kukoc grabs the board. Number 1 guard, BJ. And that's a 5, and that's going to be a pass. And turnover versus press. So turnover BJ Armstrong. He's not off to a good start with 2 turnovers. Getting a lot of turnovers. That's the press is a few more turnovers, a few more fouls. Typically number 2 forward, Dale Davis. 12. Miss. Double A miss. Doesn't matter. He missed anyway. And the Pacers are 1 for 5. Rebound. Offensive high +1. Well, let's see. McKee would be a double A. Defensive high. Well, Purdue is a double A as well. You give the advantage to the defense, and Purdue produces a rebound there. Ball goes to Tony Kukoc. 8. 2-point field goal. If it's a double A or single A, it's a miss. But he's a C, so Kukoc is going to score. And the Pacers need to get themselves going soon. Reggie Miller going to try to get some points back. That's a 9. Another missed 3-point attempt by Reggie. Trying to play some hero ball, apparently. Rebound, offensive number 1 guard, C. Defensive number 2 guard, C. And Jordan's going to grab the rebound here. So the Bulls, Jordan's comeback day, off to a pretty good start. Jordan with the ball. Here he goes. And that's a 6. And that's going to be a miss. And it would have missed on defense as well. So it's a missed shot for Jordan. Rebound, defensive center, Rick Smits. Pacers need to wake up a little bit. We're getting closer to halfway through the quarter. Number 1 forward, McKee. That's a 2, and a missed 3 for McKee. So the Pacers are just bombing away. Yeah, it's still missed. Okay, rebound. Offensive team rebound. So we got a team rebound. Helping the home team, the Pacers. Number 2 forward, Dale Davis. 8. 2-point field goal. Dale Davis is the number 2 forward. Oh, so he misses the shot if his rating is an F? Holy cow, is that true? Number 2. Number 2, he's the number 2 forward. He can't be an F. It's a missed shot. Wow, he forced himself to miss a shot. That's not good. I don't know if I've seen that happen before. He must have made a ball handling move going to the basket. Rebounded by Smits. It's got their only field goal so far. Number 1 forward turnover, unless their ball handling rate is a triple A, double A, or single A. There's a little misprint right there. And it's not. So a turnover for McKee. And now it's immediate possession to Scottie Pippen. We'll give a steal just for the heck of it. And that's a 9 on Pippen. And he is going to miss a 3 unless the number 2 ball handler has at least a double A. No, he's just a single A. So it's just going to be missed 3 for Scottie. Jordan couldn't cash him in. I wonder if Jordan's a double A in other situations. Usually reserved for great passing guards. Offensive high versus defensive high. Offensive high, double A. Defensive high, +1. Oh, there's Dale Davis, a double A. I might have. Either way, Dale Davis will get that rebound. Pacers need to get going. They keep going to Dale Davis. It's a 9. That's going to be a pass. Turnover versus press. Dale Davis. 0 for 3 with 3 turnovers. There's a reason their offense is not clicking. We're halfway through, and they have 2 points. Number 1 forward, Scottie Pippen. That's a 10, and that's a pass. Defensive foul if they're a D or an F. And they are not. They're a B. Bulls go number 1 forward, Scottie. That's a 5. 2-point field goal. It is good, no matter what. So Scottie Pippen gives the Bulls 10 points. We're going to call timeout, Indiana. Dale Davis not off to a good start, so let's make a move there. Maybe Rick Smits as well. He's in foul trouble. All right, entering the game for the Pacers, LaSalle Thompson, the 13-year veteran, and Antonio Davis, no relation to Dale Davis. Judd Bushler replaces Scottie Pippen with 2 fouls for the Bulls. Center LaSalle gets the ball, goes in. 7, 2-point field goal. Number 2 forward, how's their passing? F. Another miss. Oh my gosh, I got to get some good passers in for Indiana, I think, at all costs. They cannot score a lick right now. They're shooting themselves in the foot on offense. Rebound, defensive number 1. That's B.J. Armstrong, who's done very little. And they have a chance to fast break. Can roll 2. That's a turnover. BJ's third turnover. All right, Steve Kerr enters the game. Get rid of that turnover-prone player. Here come the Pacers. Center, Thompson. That's a 7. 2-point shot. Number 1 guard. It better be defense. Good passer. And look at that. He's a AAA+. I think that's probably as high as you can go. So, thank goodness we got a basket for LaSalle Thompson because the Pacers only had 2 points in 6 minutes. Assist to Mark Jackson. Pacer fans cheer just for the fun of it. Here's number 1. Judd Bushler. That's a 10. And that's a missed 3-point attempt by Judd. Rebound. Oh, yeah. Automatic miss. Rebound. Offensive number 2. That is Tony Kukoc versus defensive number 2. And we got Antonio Davis with a higher board rate. Goes to the number 1 guard, Mark Jackson. That's a 9. He's going to pass. Defensive foul. Let's do a randomization of that. Steve Kerr still gets it. And that's 2 fouls on the Bulls. Number 1 forward turnover unless you're a good ball handler. And that's, number 1 forward. He's a B. Nope, not enough. Another unlucky turnover 4. That's the 6th turnover for the Pacers. And that means Judd takes possession immediately and goes with a 5. That's going to be a pass. Turnover of C, D, F ball handling. He's a C. And so they throw the turnover right back at them. It's 6 turnovers apiece. Really turnover-filled game so far. Number 1 guard, Mark Jackson. That's a 9. That's a pass. It's not a turnover rate of C. Number 2 forward, Antonio. That's a 7. 2-point field goal. Number 1 forward has to be at least a C for it not to be a miss. And he's a B, so I'll give him an assist in addition to 2 points for Antonio Davis. Assist McKee. And the bench has more points already than the starters for Indiana. Bulls go back to Judd. That's a 7. That's going to be a miss. Yeah, it's a total miss for Judd. He's 0 for 2. Not a lot of depth on the Bulls, despite having a huge bench. Not a lot of great, super great bench players. Rebound. Defensive number 1 guard, Mark Jackson. Hands the ball off to Reggie. Reggie's a pure shooter. 6. That's going to be a miss. Unless the number 2 has a good rating, and he does not. Boy, that's a weakness for Indiana to have such a poor ball handling front line. That's a miss by Reggie. He's 0 for 3. Rebound, offensive number 2 guard. That's going to be Reggie. Gets the ball to Mark Jackson. It's a 6. That's a pass. Defensive foul, C, D, or F. Let's see. Fouling, B. So it is not a foul. It's actually a successful pass to the forward, McKee, and that's a 6. And that's a pass. Turnover, ball handler rates D, F, no. Pass to choice. We're going to go to LaSalle Thompson. Got to get that thing up in the air. 8. That'll be a miss. And if the defense is a D or F, it's May. Defense is a C. Miss by LaSalle Thompson. Points are tough to come by. This is tough 90s basketball right now. Rebound, forward, Judd Bushler. You just see there's a lot more passes in the 90s. It's making it difficult to do a fast, high-scoring game here. Number 1 is Judd. That's a 9. And that'll be a pass, defensive foul if he's an F, which is not true. So it's a pass to the center, Will Perdue. And that's a 6. That's a 2-point field goal. And unless the defense is really good, and the defense is just a C. So that will be a field goal for Will Perdue. 12-6. Number 1 forward, Derek McKee. That's an 11. Missed shot. Unless the number 2 forward can help him. Nope. There is no help here. The forwards are 0 for 6 in the starters. And Antonio's 1 for 1. Rebound. Offensive center versus defensive high. B, defensive high, is going to be Will Perdue. Bulls pretty dominant so far. Number 1 guard, Steve Kerr, 8. Miss shot. And if the number 2 guard is at least a double A, it's not, so it's a miss by Kerr. Jordan almost assisted the play. Got to remember to use 2 decks. Rebound, Thompson. Pacers fans getting a little bit nervous. This team can't score. Number 2 forward, Antonio. That's a 5. That's a pass. Defensive foul, C, D, or F. No, he's a B. Goes to LaSalle. That's a 7. 2-point field goal. Number 1 forward has to be at least a B or a C. And it is good enough because the ball handling of McKee is very good. LaSalle Thompson, 4 shots, 4 points already just off the bench. Assisted by Derek McKee. Got to have that good ball handling. Number 2 guard turnover. Yep, even Jordan with an A. He needed to be at least a double A. Turnover, MJ. Reggie Miller with a swipe. He's got possession. He's got a 5. That's a pass. Turnover if he's a C, D, or F. Oh, and he is. Turnover, Reggie. Reggie's just got to shoot it. Center, Will Perdue. That's a 6. 2-point field goal. It's good. Will Perdue, 6 points. An odd game here where Will Perdue is doing all the damage. He only averaged, what? 7.6, including playoffs. But it's 14-8. Reggie, that's a 10. A missed 3. The number 1 guard, though, with ball handling, is definitely good enough. 3-pointer, Reggie Miller. And finally, someone in the starting lineup scores for the Pacers. It's now 14-11. Mark Jackson saved that one. Here comes Judd. That's a 2. Pass. Turnover. Judd Bushler. Number 1, Derek McKee. That's a 7. Miss. Number 1 guard. Yes, another make because of Mark Jackson turning things around for the Pacers. Back-to-back assists for Mark. 14-13. Ball goes to Judd. That's an 8. 2-point field goal. If it's a defense of at least B, it's missed. Defense A. Missed shot by Judd. 0 for 3 for Bushler. Momentum is swinging as this quarter comes to an end. I say that, and offensive rebound by Will Perdue. Perdue, that's a 5. That's a pass. Defensive foul, and that's a 6, so it'll be on the defender, LaSalle Thompson. Just the second team foul, though. And we are ending this weird quarter. Number 1 guard, Michael Jordan, 7 2-point field goal. That's the number 2 forward ball. Oh, number 2 forward ball handling has to be at least a B for a make, or even a C would work. He needs an A, so Jordan will score at the buzzer. Assist Tony Kukoc. And that is all we've got. Bulls of 95, 16. Pacers of 95, 13. And just 16 shots for the Bulls and 17 for the Pacers. A little bit low. And I'm wondering if I needed to discard some of these pace ratings or change them, because it seems like they're a little bit low. Even for mid-1990s basketball, this seems like we are on pace to score a way less than a regular game, but I might make a couple adjustments and we'll see what happens. I know I had a couple of those plays where I didn't take possession on a turnover, and I did press a bit, so we had a lot of turnovers as well. So we'll have to work on these things because the turnover rate is at 8 and 7 at the moment. We'll take off the press for the second period. So we'll see how this plays out. All right, we're at the start of the third quarter, halftime here in Indiana, and we actually had a normal scoring quarter while we were away. It is 29-28 Bulls in quarter number 2. They take a 45-41 lead. And part of the reason for that is I didn't have the press on a few less turnovers. Also, the defensive play in the second quarter probably wasn't as good, but there was also some hot shooting as well. For the Bulls, out of all players, Dickie Simpkins came off the bench at power forward and threw in 10 points, making 3 of 5 from the field and 4 of 4 from the line. On the flip side, the Pacers stayed in the game with Haywood Workman. And I've got his name spelled as Hay because the full name of Haywood is too long for my fields here. 2 for 4 from the field, including 2 3-pointers, 4 or 5 from the line, 10 points. And the Pacers stay in this one, but there was actually a much more of a normalization. I decided just on my own to, instead of the -4 on pace there, I just kept the full 60 cards per quarter for this period. Just give us a few more plays and things like that. And we're still 34 field goal attempts and 10 free throw attempts for the Bulls. Still a little on the low side, so I'm going to keep that number going. Maybe this will give us a little extra play, 4 more cards per quarter, and we'll see. Once again, however, this is just a battling era of basketball. It's very difficult to score high numbers. Both of these teams average right around 100 points. I think the Bulls were 100, 101. Pacers were 99, 100. So there just wasn't a lot of shots. I think the teams only averaged about 80, 81 shots per team, 25 free throw attempts per team. So we're not too far off here. It was just an oddity that first quarter turned out to be so darn low scoring. And let's light up the scoreboard here. Got to turn it back on. 45-41 Bulls. Scottie Pippen has 3 fouls. Rick Smits has 4, so that's the guy I'm going to watch for. I'm going to play him safe. I'm going to do some house rules and probably take him down on rebounds by a point and maybe defense by a point. And I think almost every kind of foul that's not on, I'm not positive. Certain fouls do not get charged to him. It's just a basket. So let's see what happens here and play some third quarter action. Bulls had got the original tip, so the Pacers still have the ball. And it's going to go to the forward, number 2, Dale Davis, who was a turnover machine in that first quarter, over 3. So let's see what Dale can do. We got a pass, charging foul, and another turnover for Dale Davis. The luck is just not on his side. Hope I get at least 20 points a team this quarter. That was crazy, that first period. Center Bill Wennington is in the game, starting the second half. First time in the game. They got 3 centers. The 3-headed monster, Longley, Will Perdue, and now Bill Wennington. All of them played quite a few games. And that's a 7. And it looks like a 2-point field goal. Number 1 guard is B.J. Armstrong. Oh, he does not have an A, but he's not a C, so it's still good. Bill Wennington scores. I will still give B.J. an assist on the play for not screwing it up. And the Bulls are the first on the scoreboard. I'll probably press the second half of the third quarter and the first half of the fourth to do about a 50% press to keep the fouls drawn reasonably accurate. It is kind of not precise game in that respect. There's no foul drawing in these columns, so it's going to be the players that get the ball the most of the time that are going to go to the line. Michael Jordan, by the way, has just 6 points on 3 of 6. Reggie Miller's doing a bit worse. He's got 5 points, and he's not shooting great. So the superstars are just not coming through. Now, do I got Dale Davis again? Why do we keep going to him? 6, that's a pass. Defensive foul B, C, D, E, F. And if he's a foul B, so Tony Kukoc has his first. Stop going to Dale. Go to anyone else. Number 1 guard, Mark Jackson. That's a 6. And the 6 is a pass. And that's a defensive foul. Let's see who it's on. That's 1. Scottie Pippen, his 4th. Some guys just can't dodge the foul bug here. Reggie Miller has had a very mediocre game so far. Pass. Defensive foul versus press, but we're not pressing yet. So we pass it to the number 1 forward. That's Derek McKee. 5. Pass. A lot of passing. Defensive foul C, D, F. Good thing Pippen's a B. So we're passing one more time. And it's the number 2 forward, Dale Davis. 7. That's a miss. Unless the number 1 ball handler has at least a B, and it's good. Dale Davis gets bailed out by Derek McKee, making McKee a very valuable player. Even though McKee doesn't shoot much, he is a good enough ball handler to give an assist to Dale Davis on that shot. It's 47-43. Scotty with a 7. That's a 2-pointer. Yet the new number 2 forward has at least a C, and Kukoc is an A. So that's good for Scottie Pippen. So an interesting lineup configuration. No Horace Grant. 2 small, small-like forwards, even though they're pretty tall, 6'8" and 6'10". And the Bulls score. Center, Rick Smits. That's an 8. That's a miss. Defensive foul, Bill Wennington. And we got a lot of fouls to give for the Bulls centers. Plenty of Bulls centers. So that is a missed shot. 2 shots for Rick Smits at the line. And he's 2 and 4 to 9. 4. Of course I rolled 2 4s, and Rick Smits has 8. 49-45. Oh, goes into Weddington, a good shooter. 2-point field goal. Number 2 forward, though. Yep, he's got enough to assist it. So good passing on the front line for the Bulls. I can see why they can score points. Weddington will score, give Kukoc another assist. Gives him 5 assists on the game. Bulls have 51. Center, P column. Center, offensive column, 6. I did a little fast break faux pas there. Missed shot by Smits, nope, it's still a miss. Ricky Smits, no good. They're shooting 46% after shooting terribly in the first quarter. Bulls are at 57%. Rebound, offensive center. Smits grabs it. They set it up. We'll just call it the center. Rick Smits goes up again. 9. 2-point field goal is good. Rick Smits. 51-47. Number 1 guard is BJ. That's a 5. That'll be a pass. Defensive foul if he's B through F. B, C, D, F. Mark Jackson. That's a foul. Non-shooter. Ball goes into some guy named Jordan. That's a 4. And that's a miss. Number 1 guard. Nope, not good enough. Jordan with the missed shot. At least he's getting the ball here. He hasn't been getting the ball. Rebound, offensive number 2 forward. We got a B rebounder there. Defensive number 2 forward, Dale Davis, double A. A double D gets a double A. Come down. Turnover, number 2 forward. He's not a good ball handler. Dale has just been getting saddled with that one multiple times. That is 5 turnovers for Dale Davis. We'll get a steal for Kukoc, who now has possession. And that's a 4. That's a pass. Turnovers DF. No, we'll just set her up. Oh, number 1 forward. Scottie Pippen, though, is an A ball handler, so we can pass again to BJ Armstrong. 9. A missed 3. Yes, it's a missed 3 for BJ. That's his first field goal attempt of the game. Rebound, offensive number 1. That's going to be Scottie Pippen. Pippen with the ball. That's a 6. Pass, defensive foul. 3. Is it actually going to be on Smits, or do I bypass that foul? I'm gonna bypass that foul. I'm gonna roll again. Can't roll more than a 3. Wow. 6. It's gonna be on the defender, Derek McKee, because I got Smits downgraded on rebounding and defense. So that was a defensive foul on a pass. Okay. Bulls take it in. Number 1 guard turnover, unless he's super, and he's not that great. He's not a triple A. Another turnover for the Bulls. Steal by Mark Jackson. Jackson with possession. 6. That's a pass. Turnover of CDF. No, he's a triple A. Jackson with the ball. That's a 7. He's going to miss. Yep, missed shot for Mark Jackson. Rebound. Offensive number 1 forward. Derek McKee, trying to do the little things. Didn't have a great first quarter, but he is here. Number 1 guard, Jackson. 9. Defensive foul if he's an F. Nope, we're passing the ball. Center, Rick Smits, 11. Pass. Defensive foul if he's an F. Ooh, he is an F. Foul on Bill Wennington. Wennington's second. The hacker. That's 4 team fouls already. Number 2 forward, Dale Davis, 10. 2-point field goal. But he's going to miss because he's a terrible ball handler. He's gotten this twice. This is terrible. Missed by Dale Davis. That's too bad. Rebound. Offensive center, Rick Smits. They're hitting the boards. Ball goes to the center. Rick Smits going up for the shot. And that is 2-point field goal and the foul by Wennington. So Rick Smits comes through. 51-49. Wennington on the foul. 1 free throw for Rick. And that's an 8, and it's good. The Pacers are right in this one. 51-50. Goes back to the Bulls. Center, Bill Wennington. 11, pass. Defensive foul if he's a D or F. No, he's just a C. But once again, let's see. His fouls are not affected, but do I make a basket on that defensive foul? I'm not sure what I want to do on that. I'm going to have to see if there's any playing safe rules that will help me with that. I'm not seeing too much on that, so I'm just going to call that a pass. Number 2 guard, Michael Jordan. That's a 7. That's a 2-point field goal. And it is good for Michael Jordan. So we'll take the 2-pointer here. 53-50. Center, turnover, Smits. Yep, turnover, Smits. 7'4". Not a great ball handler. Steal by Wennington. Wennington has possession. That's a 2. That's a pass. Turnover, he's a D or F. Yep, turnover. Always bad to have the big fella with the ball on the break. Number 2 forward, Dale Davis. Here's a 7. That's a missed shot. The number 1 forward, McKee, makes it a good shot. So Dale Davis gets a break for once. And an assist to Derek McKee. And it's 53-52. Number 2 guard is Michael. 6. That's a miss for Jordan. Yep. Verified. Rebound. Offensive center versus defensive center. So it's a B, and I'm taking him down rebound rating. I should probably take him down 2 defensive ratings. I got to give a disciplinary thing on Smits. I'm going to make him a C. I'm going to give Wennington that rebound. I got to have to do that with ball handle. Everything's going to go down because there's no penalty. So I'm going to give Wennington the offensive rebound on that one. It's going to be a 2 grade reduction because he can't go crash the boards. I could give him an F if I wanted to, but I'll go 2 grade reduction. That sounds fair to keep Wennington in the game. A 9's a 3-point miss. That's still a miss. And B.J. Armstrong's firing blindly from 3-point land. Rebound, offensive second high. Second highest. These guys are all B's. It doesn't really matter. I'll give it to Scottie Pippen versus the defensive second high. Yeah, we're going to get the offensive rebound because I'm going to have Smits as a C. And so Scottie Pippen is going to grab the offensive rebound. And we're going to call timeout after this play. Pippen, 9, missed 3. Not a good enough passer to make it a make. So, unlike the Pacers, who have a AAA passer, BJ's only a B passer. And the rebound is going to go to the offensive number 1 forward. Defensive number 2 forward does have a double A. So we'll give the rebound to Dale Davis. And that was quickly 6 minutes of ball game here, and we'll come back in the closing minutes to see if it stays this close. Right now, it is Bulls 53 and Pacers 52 from Market Square Arena. Just about 7 minutes to play in this titanic tilt here at Market Square Arena. The Bulls trail the Pacers 75-72. We've had a couple of great performances off the bench, especially for the Pacers. Haywood Workman, a man who averages just about 4 points in 15 minutes a game, has come off the bench. In 17 minutes, he had 13 points, 3 of 5 from the floor. All 3-pointers were made with those 3 makes. He's 3 for 3 from the arc. He is 4 for 5 from the line. He's single-handedly trying to be his own Reggie Miller. Miller, by contrast, is just 4 for 9, and he's played quite a few minutes, at least 37 minutes, but Reggie has made 3 of 6 3-point attempts, and that is one of the big stats of the game. Like I had mentioned earlier, Dickie Simpkins had come through early with 10 points in the second period. They've also had decent performances from Luke Longley with 8 points off the bench. Bill Wennington with 6 points off the bench, and even Will Perdue, their tri-headed monster, has come off, and he started, but he's finally back after being benched for 2 quarters. He only played 20 minutes a game, so I'm going to play him probably more than that, but he's got another 8 points as well. So foul trouble, I got Pippen and Smits both with 5 fouls, and I'm kind of playing them safe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take their fouls and reduce them to, Pippen will be he'll be an A on fouls. Smits will go to an A on fouls, but I'm going to reduce their defense and rebounding down. So he's only a C rebounder, and he's only a D defender. Pippen goes from a double A defender to a, what would that be? A B, I guess. Anyway, a single A, yeah, maybe a B defender. Either way, I'm trying to penalize the guys that are playing safe a little bit because they're not going to hit the boards as hard. They're not going to play as good a defense, but I will take away their fouls because they are kind of letting guys go through. In the last 3 minutes, I probably will not worry about that as well. So I've taken the press off with 7 minutes to go, and we got 2 teams shooting exactly 50% from the field at the moment, 50.0. Both teams have 20 turnovers. And it's been a slugfest, but I am getting a few more shots in. It's not, I think I'm going to be a little bit low. I'm at 62 and 58 attempts with 7 minutes to play, but it's much better than in the first quarter, when it was 16-13 Bulls. So Bulls can have plenty of fire left in the tank, so let's see what happens here. Number 2 guard. I'm still going to use these little things, even if it's not the press. Here's Michael Jordan. Michael, a 2-pointer, and it's good. Michael Jordan, and wearing number 45 in his comeback game. That is points 19 and 20. It is a 1-point game. Number 1 forward, this could be a turnover. Yes, it is, by McKee. So McKee gets the T over. And the steal is going to be by Scottie Pippen, who just came back because he's got 5 fouls. And he's got control of the ball. 10. It says miss. Number 2 guard, ball handling. Oh, it's not a make. Jordan is just an A ball handler this particular season. So Pippen will miss that shot. Another rebound coming down. Offensive third high. So this will be interesting because I think Pippen is the offensive third high because 1, 2, he's dropped 2 to a D. No, the third high would be Jordan, C. Defensive third high. Smits has gone down to a C. So it's Dale Davis and McKee and Smits. So they're both C's, and I'll just roll to C. Well, Mark Jackson's a C as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll give the rebound to Mark Jackson, who just returned. He was not playing as well as Haywood Workman, but he's a great point guard. So here come the Pacers. Smitsy, 6. That's a miss. Defense shot missed. Smits does have 17 points in this game, so he's had a very solid offensive performance. And now we're going to get the rebound. Offensive number 1 guard C, defensive number 1 guard C. Defense wins that one. I've gotten finally the pace down, the flow down with this game. I just hadn't played it in a while. Number 2 forward, Kukoc, 11, and that's a 3-point field goal. Defense AA would make a shot missed, but no, he's only a C. 3-pointer for the Bulls, and I was going to make a note of that. Bulls take the lead. The Bulls, while the Pacers have been drilling 3-pointers at 6 for 10, 60%, the Bulls had been 0 for 10. And that was the first 3-pointer made by Chicago, and it vaults them into the lead by 2. Young Tony Kukoc now has just 5 points. He's played a lot of minutes. He just hasn't been getting the ball. Ball goes into Smits. Here he goes. 5. 2-point field goal. Number 1 forward ball handling has to be at least B for it to occur. Yes. Rick Smits gets the assist, the confirmation, if you will, from Derek McKee. And the Pacers have tied this one up at 77. Ball goes into Scotty. Scotty with a 7. And a 7's a 2-point field goal. The number 1 guard, though, has to be at least, he can't be a C, D, or F. He's a B, so it's good. BJ to Pippen. Solid ball handling by their point. Not as great as Mark Jackson, but the Bulls now have the 2-point lead. Number 2 guard. Down about 4 minutes left, 4.5. Reggie Miller, who hasn't had a great game, 6. That's a miss. But the center ball handling, if it's A, B, or C, no, it's not. It's a miss. So miss by Jordan, or not Jordan, Miller. It sure makes you wonder what Nikola Jokic's ball handling is in most seasons. I'll have to check on that and get back to you. I think I have a season with Jokic in it. A miss by the Miller man, Reggie Miller. And I can't get this card to separate. Rebound, Will Perdue. Bulls come down. Number 2 guard is Michael Jordan. That's a 10. It's a 2-pointer. If he's a AA on defense, he is not. MJ, 8 points in the quarter, 22 for the game, and the Bulls sneak ahead by 4 now. Nice little run by Chicago. Derek McKee comes up. He gets an 8. 2-point field goal. If the defense is a triple A or a double A, well, he drops to a single A and a B because he's playing safe. We are going to give him a basket on that. Derek McKee for 2. It might almost be time to take Scottie Pippen off playing safe. 81-79. Number 2 guard, MJ. Loves to fire it up. That's a miss unless the defender's an F. Miss for Jordan. And everybody, of course, wants to know what is Jordan shooting on the night. He is 11 for 21, but has yet to go to the foul line. Quite unusual. The Bulls have no team fouls, by the way. Pacers have 4, so that could play a huge factor. Oh, did I rebound that? I don't think I rebounded that. Offensive number 2 forward is a B. Defensive number 1 forward is a C. So Tony Kukoc with an offensive rebound on that miss. Bulls keep it. Back to Jordan. Give him another chance. That's another miss by MJ. Makes him 11 for 22. Rebound on the way. If I could flip the card. Defensive number 2 card, Reggie Miller. Pacers with a chance to square this game up. Miller, as good as they get from the outside. Miss. Number 2 ball handling has to be really good, and Dale Davis is pretty awful. So miss by Miller. Stuck on 12 points. Still plenty of time to be Mr. Clutch, though. Jump ball on the rebound. Purdue 6. Bulls are winning a lot of jump balls today. Or at least the few that I've had. Pippen with the ball. Fires 11. Three-pointer. If the defense is AA, A, or B, Derek McKee makes that miss. Miss three-point attempt. A stop for McKee. He's had a couple today. That would have been huge for the Bulls. And the rebound. Offensive number 2 guard has a C. Defensive number 2 guard has a D. And look at Michael Jordan grab that offensive rebound and keep the ball alive. Goes over to Kukoc. We're under 3 minutes easily. Kukoc 11. Three-pointer. Number 1 forward ball handling has to be at least a B. Do I take his ball handling down? I don't know if I'm going to take his ball handling down. I'll keep it. He's still offensively sound. Anyway, that's going to be an A, so it's still a make, and that is a three-pointer by Tony Kukoc. Another one. Kukoc coming through. Pippen with a good assist, and I'm taking both those players off playing safe now. It's 84-79. Rick Smits and Pippen both with 5 fouls. Number 1. Here comes Derek McKee. That's a 9. Pass. It's not a press, so it's just a pass. Center. Smitzy, 9. Two-pointer. Defensive foul. Will Purdue. So Smits makes the shot. 8 in the quarter for Smits. 84-81. Foul on Purdue. First team foul. 1 shot for Ricky Smits. That's a 6. It's good. Give Smits 22 points on the night. 84-82. Pacers not going away. Here's Will Purdue. That's a 5. That's a pass. Turnover versus press. We're not pressing at the moment. Center. Purdue again. 8. 2-point field goal. If a defense is an A, no, he is not. Purdue drills it. Double figures for Purdue. Their centers for Chicago. Been very effective. Center, Smits. They love that. 3. 2-point field goal attempt for Rick Smits is good. Smits with 24. For the Pacers, 86-84. Ball goes to Scotty, not playing safe anymore. 12. That's a missed shot. The center ball handling is a D. Not good enough either way. So Scotty stuck on 15 points. Rebound. Offensive number 1 forward, back to normal. B, defensive number 2 forward. Dale Davis clears the glass. It's only 5 rebounds for him. He actually started scoring. He's made too many turnovers tonight, but at least Dale is doing something right. Derek McKee with the ball. It's an 8. 2-pointer, number 1 guard ball handling. Secures that basket for Derek McKee. Assist Mark Jackson on the night. That is Mark Jackson's 4th assist. And the Pacers have come back to tie it. Getting down to 2.5 minutes or so. Maybe 3. I'm not sure. Number 1 forward is Scotty Pippen. That's a 5. 2-point field goal. Defense A or B. And it is Derek McKee stopping Pippen from scoring again. That is some defense. That is another stop for McKee. Rebound, offensive high +1. AAA, Purdue, defensive high, AA. So AAA, Will Purdue per minute played grabbed a lot of boards apparently. Well, let's see, 6.5 in 20 minutes, so that's over 13. Number 1 guard, turnover, unless his ball rating is AAA. Turnover for BJ. Poor BJ will give a steal to Mark Jackson, who's a little better ball handler. Mark's got control of the ball right now. 5. He's going to pass the ball. Turnover of his ball handler at CDF. Nope. They're going to pass it. Number 1 guard, Mark. 6. He's going to pass it. Defensive foul versus press. Nope. Number 2 forward, Dale Davis. 6. Pass. Defensive foul. If it's BCDF. Foul's a B. It's on Kukoc. That's his second team foul. Pacers. Miller, 9. A missed 3 for Reggie trying to break the tie. Rebounded by offensive number 1 guard. Jackson's a C. Defensive number 2. Jordan's a C. Bulls with the ball. Number 1 guard, BJ. That's a 6. Pass. Defensive foul if he's an F. No. Running low on cards. Will Purdue, 3. That's a pass. Defensive foul if he's an F. No. Number 2 forward, Tony Kukoc, 9. Pass. Turnover of ball handling rate. Ball handling rate's F. No. We're going to pass it around. We're going to call 24 seconds if they get another pass here because it's been way too many. Will Purdue, 9. Pass. Charging foul. Will Purdue anyway, his second. We're tied at 86. The original game went into overtime. Will this game go into overtime? That's the way it keeps looking. Rick Smits, Mr. Clutch so far. 9. Scores again, unless the defense... Nope. It was Rick Smits pumping him in this quarter. That's 11 in the period. Pacers have the lead. We're down to how many cards left? You can see them in my hand. About 5. Number 1 forward, Scotty. That's a 6. It's a pass. No defensive foul there. Pippen, got to do something with it. 3. Missed shot for Scottie Pippen. He's missed 4 in a row. Bulls need a rebound right now. Defensive center. Smits with the ball. Rebound. Hand the ball off to the number 2 forward, Dale Davis. 4. Pass. Charging foul. Dale Davis, his second. Well, it looks like it's going to come down to these couple cards here. B.J. Armstrong. That's a 7. 2-point field goal. Defensive foul, Mark Jackson. Jackson with the foul. The basket is good. B.J. Armstrong ties it at 88. And can give the Bulls the lead with 1 free throw. He's a fantastic foul shooter. 92 games, including playoffs, 87.8. Will he make this and give the Bulls a potential victory? 10. It's good. B.J. Armstrong in the clutch. Well, what's left on this card is going to determine the game. Number 2, Dale Davis. 6. Pass. Defensive foul if it's a C, D, or F. And it's not. And that will run out the clock. Either way, if it had been a foul, it would have been a non-shooter. The Bulls had fouls to give, and this one belongs to Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Narrow victory, 89-88. What a game. Bulls finished shooting exactly 50% from the floor. What did they hit on the year? That's a really good question, too. Let's see. This is the Pacers. The Pacers hit 477. The Bulls hit 476. So, 48% to 50%. And the Pacers hit 51.5% from the floor. The Pacers outscore the Bulls 27-25 in the final period, but fall short on a 3-point play by B.J. Armstrong with 1 card to play. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out. I probably could have gone with another forward that might shoot a little bit more, but that just didn't happen. They had Dale Davis in. And Scottie Pippen finished 7 for 18 for Chicago, finished with 15 points. Will Perdue 5 for 6, 10 points, 5 boards. Michael Jordan 11 for 22, 22 points, 8 rebounds in his return game from retirement. Steve Kerr had 7, Luke Longley had 8, Dickie Simpkins, Simply Dickens, that's what I like to call him, 10 points. Bulls made just 2 of 13 three-pointers, but they were both made by Kukoc in the closing minutes of this game. Derek McKee had played great defense with 4 defensive stops for the Pacers. He did have 10 points in 39 minutes, 7 assists he was credited with. Ricky Smits, 26 points in limited minutes. I think I got him up to 30, though, even with his fouls. 8 rebounds, 26 points, 11 of 14. Possibly the MVP, although I give Derek McKee a lot of credit for playing great defense and passing the ball really well with those 7 assists. They helped players secure baskets, and he held Scottie Pippen down and had him in foul trouble. So Reggie Miller, 4 of 12, 3 of 7 from 3. Didn't work out too well, 12 points. LaSalle Thompson, 8 off the bench. He was playing pretty well. Antonio Davis, just 2 points in 21 minutes. And Haywood Workman, great work for Workman, 13 points in 17 minutes. So there you have it. Bulls win it by a single point, 1995, Michael Jordan's comeback game. Have a good one, everybody.